In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about feeling better about yourself. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? My name is Michael Sahno. Welcome to the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Michael Sahno. As I said in the beginning, sorry about that. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the show. As always, the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast is brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness. Head on over there to start your military endurance fitness journey. We got everything there for you. And you can find us at www.sandlfit.com. So, all right. Hey, welcome to the show. Good to see everyone. I took a week off because I had a bunch of stuff going on, prepping for all of the videos that we're going to be doing. And I got something to show you if you're watching on YouTube. We got this big camera rig, which we're going to be using. I'm in the process of training one of my employees, my son, Robert, on how to use it, how to capture captivating video for our exercise videos that are coming up for you. So yeah, in order to do that, a lot of stuff had to be rearranged, put away, broken down, in terms of the space that we're using. So I kind of started getting into it on Saturday and just got so knee deep in the project, so knee deep in making sure I can get this stuff done. And we're gonna that I lost track of time, and once Sunday hit, I was halfway through having to do everything and wasn't able to do a show. So I'm like a week behind. But hey, I'm back. I'm here. So that's super exciting. We've got all the equipment. We got all the mats. We've got a big banner that's going in the background. We've got everything in order to do. We've got this big monster tripod. So we got all the equipment and we're ready to start filming. And I'm actually going next weekend to kind of clear my head and get myself, just get the ship righted, so to speak, going on vacation for 4 days to Mystic, Connecticut. So we're going to go to the seaport. We're going to go to, where else are we going? We're going to the aquarium, of course. And we're going to take a trip. It's like a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive over to Groton, Connecticut, where I have some naval history in my experience at sub school. And I'm going to get us on base because I'm a veteran. So I have access to going on to the base. As you guys know from me shooting at West Point, I have access to the base and the exchange and the commissary. So I took my family over to West Point and we checked all that out a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago. And I'm going to take them and show them how the Navy lives in the same respect. So I'm going to do that, get that cleaned out, get my brain all like in a real good place. Not that it's in a bad place, but just get a little bit of rest and then get back on the horse and get these videos done. So I want to talk about something this week that is really important. A little bit of a mental journey that I've been going through. Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Peter Madeira, this is for you. So I want to talk a little bit about a mental journey that's going on with you guys, with me. I want to speak with you guys about a mental journey that's going on with me. And if you've been following this channel, you know that weight has been an issue. Interesting way to put it. Weight has been an issue with me. And my perspective on my weight as a metric has been something that it's been kind of difficult for me to deal with. So, this is a plug. I came up with this sticker, okay? And I don't know, there's a little bit of a glare. I'm trying to put it so there's no glare. There you go. And it is fitness plus attitude equals sea and land fitness. Okay, so fitness, getting crazy and lifting heavy things, going on a ruck march, doing some push-ups. That's this. You add that a kind of, I don't want to say cavalier, but maybe it is cavalier. A kind of, hey man, whatever comes, comes. I'll get it. I get an opportunity to do this, and that's awesome. Equals sea and land fitness. Okay, we're gonna have these. I got a bunch of these made. I got one on my truck, on my Gladiator, and I'm gonna put those up on the website, and you'll be able to pick those up for I think like $10, $9.99. It's a relatively inexpensive sticker. Okay, and but it's important because it's talking about that sticker. This sticker right here is talking about what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, we're talking about weight. So, I'm going to bring up everyone's nemesis. All right. And that is the scale. So, as you guys know, I'm a Garmin dealer. So, I got the Garmin scale. It's resetting. I got the Garmin scale. Okay, the Garmin Scale 2 or something like that. So, and it gives you a bunch of metrics on this app that Garmin has called Garmin Connect. And it tells you your weight, it tells you your BMI. And I'm a big guy. I'm a really big guy. I'm like 6'1", 6'2". And right now, I'm going to say it, I weigh 285 pounds. Okay. So I am a very, very large dude. But I've been frustrated because I look in the mirror and I look at my level of activity and I'm like, what the junk? Why am I not losing weight? Why is it saying that I'm heavy and that my BMI is like out of control and that my body fat's out of control? I think it said I had 36% body fat. And I was really, 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 really angry with myself, not with the scale, with myself. Feeling guilty, feeling shitty. Feeling like, honestly, I'm going to tell you. So this thing here, this camera, not really interested in filming fitness videos with 36% body fat. Not really interested in filming videos to inspire others, you guys, when my Garmin scale and the Garmin app are telling me that I'm, pardon my language, this is my self-impression, that I'm a fat shit. I don't feel good about myself. Did not feel good about myself at all. So I'm not getting too religious. But God works in mysterious ways. The universe, your creator, whatever you want to call it. I believe in God. So I think it's God kind of just chirp chirp in my ear. So that type of weird interaction that changes my perspective has always come at the coolest times. So I'm feeling bad about this, all this amount of work, effort, and activity that I'm putting into being someone that can inspire you guys. And I'm like, shit balls, man. It's not working. I don't look fat. I keep talking to my wife about it. Do I look fat? I feel like a like a high school cheerleader. Am I too fat? But she's saying, no, you're not. I'm talking to other people. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to sound weird, but do I look fat? Well, I could see a little bit of around your belly, but overall, no. You actually look kind of jacked. Yes. But hearing that's conflicting with what I'm seeing on that stupid scale. That's conflicting with the data I'm getting in my phone. So I'm really angry, guilty, shameful. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I changed my diet. I added things, removed things. I'm really watching what I'm eating. I told you about Ozempic or Wegovy, going on that, losing all that weight, and then gaining it back, gaining 59% of the weight back, and being frustrated because I never went back to the old habits that I had, you know. Not that I had bad habits prior to taking Ozempic. Or Wegovy. I just, it reduced what I was eating. And then in turn, I kept with that reduction after I went off Wegovy, saying, hey, I'm going to maintain this. And then the weight came back. Not all of it, but a bunch of it. And I'm like, what the shit? What is going on? What's happening? Why is this happening? So I'm lying in bed. I try to read before I go to bed every night to give myself like a clear head so that I wake up fresh. And I get to this chapter in this book that I'm reading, and it's talking about studies on weight loss and how all diets, just about literally 99.999, I'm making up that number, but it was a high percentage of all diets result in a regain in weight of about, wait for it, 60%. 59% for me, average is 60%. So I'm like reading this and going, wait a minute. I'm beating myself up, and I'm reading all the media about weight loss, after stopping Wegovy, and it's saying, oh my gosh, you need to be on it for life because if you're not, you'll have this weight increase. And I'm realizing that all of this stuff that's showing up on Google is bullshit, because if that data on weight return from Wegovy was put in line with regular data on weight regain after dieting, there's actually no change whatsoever. You don't gain any more weight after stopping Wegovy than you gain after stopping a diet. It's actually exactly the same. For me, at least, it was exactly the same. And the purpose of the diet and the purpose for me for Wegovy was to clean up my habits so that when I did come off Wegovy, and hopefully when people come off of diets, they're eating better, they're exercising, they have a better lifestyle and nutrition. I did that. Okay. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be beating myself up over this weight, but it's saying that my visceral fat is this, the Garmin scale. It's saying that I have a shitty BMI of 36%. I'm pissed. I'm still pissed. I'm still upset. I'm getting some good info and I'm feeling a little better, but overall, I'm still kind of pissed because I'm like, this is garbage. I'm doing everything and not getting any results at all. And this is something that all of you out there have probably experienced. And I'm so sorry you're going through that. I've been through it too. More coffee. Sorry, hold on one sec. So you remember when I said I'll get like little signs from God? So I got one about 5 years ago during COVID. We decided to, I live in New York across the river from West Point. So this place was locked down hard. So my wife and I decided to throw ourselves and a kid on a plane and go down to Miami. I really wanted to go to Miami. Needed sun, sand, all of it. While I'm there, I get this Instagram ad for a school. Now, the algorithm probably figured out that I had been looking at graduate school, and had been looking at my fitness interests. And when I was in Miami, I remember I was in the hotel and I got this ad for the University of Florida, go Gators. And I wound up applying and getting in, and it changed everything. It created Sea and Land Fitness. And that, in my opinion, was because I got a sign from God. Boom. So the same thing happened to me again. It was awesome. It was so awesome. So I get this email in my inbox, my Sea and Land Fitness inbox. And it was for this company, InBody. For those of you who don't know what InBody is a scanning company. They make medical devices. So a scale is technically a medical device. It's a healthcare related medical device. But we don't think of them because they're just multi-use. We can use them for weighing items. We can use them for weighing ourselves. But some scales are specifically medical devices. And this Garmin one purports to be that. But to be a medical device, it has to give you accurate information across a spectrum. Okay. And I had always been fascinated. I had an InBody scan years ago. And I remember it was at this gym I was going to. And they were phenomenal in buying this machine because they offered scans. You know, if you wanted to come and get a scan, you could come and get a scan. And I remember getting this scan on the InBody scale, and the results came out, and the guy went, wow. Like that. He just went, wow. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? Because again, weight, guilt, shame. I go, what's wrong? He goes, your legs are massive. And I was like, what? Are they fat? He's like, no. The amount of muscle you have on your legs accounts for a third of your overall body weight. And I was like, really? Holy cow. Is that weird? He said, yeah. It's not weird. We don't see anything like that unless you're an athlete. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I got athlete legs. So I was super stoked. But when he did the printout, it showed everything. It showed visceral fat. It showed adipose fat, how much fat is in the skin. Like a lot of our fat, like our belly fat, will be adipose fat. But then you have what's called visceral fat, and that's the fat that accumulates around your organs. That's the one that's seen as the most unhealthy. But he could also break down how much each of my limbs weighed, how much my torso weighed. And I was just fascinated because it gave me an entirely new concept and understanding of how my body is made up, how it's constructed, what the makeup of fat versus muscle versus bone, what the ratios were, meaning how much it all compared to each other. And here I am right now feeling shitty about myself because of and I'm a Garmin dealer, so I'm not slamming Garmin, but I am slamming this product and the attention to detail that goes with this product. But the Garmin scale and the Garmin app are garbage in terms of helping you on a weight loss journey. So back to what I was talking about. I'm in this spot. I got this feeling, this guilt, all this stuff going on. And then I get this email. Hey, InBody is having a sale. And I remember putting something in on InBody maybe a year ago because I was interested in the machine for the company, for clients and myself. Yeah. And I'm like, this is so random, but it's perfect timing. So I get on the phone with the guy and I start talking to him. And an in-body machine, it's a medical device. Again, I'm stating that for a very specific reason. So an in-body machine, the one that would work for my clients, is about $17,000. So I was like, I can't justify this right now. Even on sale, I can't justify this right now. And I had just had a really good conversation with the sales rep for InBody, and he was telling me about all the things that it could do. And then he mentioned, we have a commercial line as well. And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, I have a commercial line. We have a commercial line, and maybe that's something you might be interested in. So I went, all right, let me think about it. And I'll get back to you. So I went online and I bought the commercial InBody right here. So this thing is freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. You have your foot pads where you put it down. All right. Put your feet down. You stand on it. And then you have this handle that comes out. And the handle, it's a two-step process. First step is you stand on the scale and it scans you. And then the second step is you bend over, pick up the handles, and you hold the handles. And it sends a minuscule charge through your body that's read by the contacts, these metal plates, and there are metal plates on the handle as well. And hold on, I'm going to put it back. All of a sudden, my world changed, like in an instant. So they have an app, and the app is how you can't even see that because of the thing. The app is how you initiate the scan. So you'll step on it, hit start scan, and a woman will come on and say, put your feet on the contacts. And then it'll take a reading and then, okay, reach down and grab the handles. And it'll go from 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 100. And it gives you this analysis. So remember how bad I was feeling about the 36% body fat? Well, it's wrong. that 36 is wrong. My actual percentage of body fat is 23.5%, which is still high. Don't get me wrong, it's higher than I want to be. But the average BMI that an athlete, male, not a runner, but a normal individual who is in a healthy condition, is between 18 to 25%. So mine is 23.5, and you can't see it, but it's just above the average. Okay. So, but within the 18 to 25. So my BMI is actually pretty good. And you can't see it, but it says, it also gives you through the scan your body type. Okay. And I'm going to read this because I am what's called a D body type. At first, I was terrified because I looked at this thing and I said, I got a D? Man, did I almost fail this? But no, there are A body types, B body types, C body types, and D body types. My wife took this and she's a C body type. So I'm going to read you the characteristics of a D body type as I put on my Oakley reading glasses. So above average D type is characterized by weight and skeletal muscle mass above the healthy range and body fat mass above or within this range with a high ratio of muscle to fat. So I have a lot more muscle. I have 125.4 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. So I'm a big frickin' dude. Now, this body type is typically very strong and robust and is commonly observed in athletes. Remember, I told you I was getting frustrated because my level of activity was high. My nutrition was pretty good, but I'm going, and I couldn't understand why it was giving me the numbers it was giving me. Based on BMI, this body type is commonly misclassified as obese. However, this is not the case, as the excess weight is primarily due to muscle mass. So my body is not as fat as Garmin is telling me. And that is such a freaking relief. Therefore, additional weight adjustment is not necessary. So basically it's saying, hey, bro, you're not as fat as Garmin is telling you. So this is such a huge weight off my shoulders. Literally, no pun intended. I said that to my wife earlier. And allows me to feel a lot more comfortable to get in front of this camera and to feel like, based on my activity level, based on my nutrition, and based on my size, to feel comfortable in putting myself forward as an example of something you can strive to be. I run with a rucksack on twice a week in combat boots. Or they're not, Solomon combat boots. Twice a week over terrain on this trail. I swim a half mile every week in the pool. There are weeks when I've done a mile and a half, 2 miles, but I make sure that I'm at least in the pool one time a week, swimming a half mile in order to maintain that level of ability. And this week I was back working out after taking time off from my overuse injury in my elbow, which feels great, by the way. But my whole point for bringing all this up is if you have the ability to get an in-body, get one. If you don't live and die by that body scan scale that you got at Walmart, that you got at Amazon, that you got at Garmin, that's telling you that you're a fat piece of shit, because most likely you're not. And even if you are, it's not giving you metrics that will help you in any way, shape, or form to, one, feel better about yourself. Because if you're engaging in a healthy lifestyle, even if you're overweight, you're crushing it. That's it. No buts. Nothing to add to that. You're crushing it. You're on your way. You're doing something good. You're making better choices. You're living a life worthy of respect. And that was one of the hard lessons I had to learn. And felt that it was important to convey to you. Because you may not be in a position to buy an in-body scale. And to realize that the data you're getting from all these other sources is either inaccurate, or it is inaccurate and not giving you a good sense of direction into how to proceed further. I think I am going to actually, because I got the H30, they make a less expensive version called the H20. And I'm so inspired by this piece of technology that we're going to look into being a supplier, being a dealer for in-body for their commercial line, because it's literally changed my life. It's changed the way I looked at things. It's giving me a better overview, better intel, better data. So the Garmin gives you weight, and weight is great because it tells you how gravity acts upon your mass. But the data outside of that, it's not very useful. It's not very accurate. But what the in-body does is, it's not the spy satellite up in the atmosphere. It's the drone overhead that's giving you real-time intel. And I have two uses for it. So throughout the week, if I get curious, I can hop on the scale, touch the button, and it'll give me what my weight is. And then every Sunday, I do my in-body scan to take a look and see if there are any changes and what those changes are. And that will influence my both my nutrition and my fitness protocols for that week. But I feel better about this stuff. I feel better about doing the videos. I feel better about stepping forward with this business. Weight's an issue for a lot of people, and it can be a crippling issue. And we're going to get over it together. All right. Okay. That's all that I've got for you guys. I am, as I said, I'm doing the filming stuff. And that's coming down the pipeline. That's all going to get filmed in August. And then hopefully we'll have it up by the end of August, beginning of September. Those are my actual hard deadlines. They're not like, oh, maybe we'll do it, we'll check and see. No, those are my hard deadlines. And as far as Sea and Land Fitness stuff goes, I am going to throw these up there. I'm going to revamp the store a little bit. I I offer one of the problems that I'm going through right now is in terms of what to offer my clients in terms of technology. And as I told you, I'm a Garmin dealer and I do like their watches. But I'm wondering if Garmin is the best for you guys. I had a conversation with with one of the guys in our business, and I was like, have the people at Garmin ever looked at a military pay scale? Who are they selling these watches to? So I'm looking at some lower price alternatives, and I will have more for you in the future, okay, in terms of what we're going to be doing with that. But I'm going to be cleaning up the website, throwing some new items up there, and we've got some new shirts coming, ton of new stuff. But that is what we're doing, okay? All right, later, guys.